It's the TEFL Express podcast, brought to you by TEFL Express, your partner in the world of teaching English as a foreign language. For all the latest and greatest in the world of TEFL training and materials, please visit our website at teflexpress.co.uk. Enjoy the show!
Hi, this is the TEFLCast, and today we have a special guest from the United States. And before we get started, can we get a little bit of history about yourself, please?
History is a big word. My name is U.S.A. Wateef Thornton. Most people call me Wateef, or Wat for short. I've lived in probably 15 countries. I do quite a bit of traveling, adventures in different countries. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, U.S.A. right now, but I was born in Niagara Falls, New York. I left there when I was 17 and went off to university for my first degree. And then what I started doing was, while I was at university, I found out that you could do things, for instance, like take your summer course while you were still a student and use the student, your student status to do a bit of traveling. Apparently, after World War II, there were a lot of different programs instilled between countries to prevent World War III. And one of the seeds that they planted were programs that encouraged the young people of the world to see each other's country, with a very real understanding that if you'd had a taste of someone else's culture, you were a lot less likely to vote on blowing them up later.
Right.
It's much harder. Yeah, when you have when you can say, wait a minute, I've had fish and chips there, I don't want to blow them up. When you can say, I've had, falafel on the streets of Egypt, I don't want to blow them up either. So it makes it a bit difficult. Right. To do those things. And even with our current conflicts, you can see that a lot of the current conflicts that we have are in countries that we formed no real social alliances with, particularly among young people who grew up believing basically everything they heard about a different country, which is largely untrue.
Right. So it gives that like that personal layer, kind of like that connection, I should say, I guess, which is an excellent program. When you did that, whereabouts did you go?
Oh, where didn't I go? I did one semester at the University of Hawaii at Hilo, which was beautiful. London, lived there for, I think 6 months. Sydney, Australia for probably another 5 or 6 months. And what I would do is, like I said, I'd bounce in and out from student status. So I might go to school for 3 or 4 straight semesters and then take time off while I still had a student status to go see another country. And when I graduated university, I'd already had really my heels dug into the concept of being an international traveler.
Right. So it kind of set the stage in a sense.
Yeah, very much so.
Now, with that, what would you say were the benefits of doing something like that growing up? Like, I mean, I'm sure there's a million of them, but what are some of the benefits of that really stand out to you?
The benefits of living outside of your country, well, there are certain things, and there are certain things that you can only understand having done it. No matter what experience you have, if you have a global experience, the benefit becomes that you are aware that the world is different from the world you grew up in. Mm-hmm. You become aware of some things that can cause people to have, I've seen people have a mental collapse when they're confronted with the reality that there are civilizations that grew in a completely different or 90-degree direction than what they were told is the way civilization should be or the way people are. And when confronted with that, it can be, it's an enlightening experience for most, but the unfortunate reality, and my friends always used to we call it going around the corner. Mm-hmm. Once you've seen what's around the corner, you can't unsee it. Once you're made brutally aware of the fact that all of X people do not exhibit Y behavior as you've been told, you start to question everything. So I think if I had to really boil down the benefit of traveling the world, even if you do nothing but leave your continent once and live someplace else for a month. And I don't mean living in the Hyatt. I mean getting an apartment or a hostel and staying there. Yeah. The benefit is that you learn to question everything because, let's face it, my grandfather's generation could tell if my dad asked my grandfather, hey, what are the people over there like? Well, whatever he told him, well, that was just the truth. But now we have technology that shows us, well, those people halfway around the world that speak a different language, they're not insane. As a matter of fact, most of them are kind of like us. I'm going to go there. And that's the benefit, I think, of globalization, and the internet has played a huge role. The only information you had on someone was their government telling you what they were like. And one common thing I found the world over is that the government rarely represents the vast majority of the people. It doesn't mean they're good or bad. It just means the vast majority of governments won't tell you that the average guy around the world wants the same thing you do. He wants a good job, maybe a decent woman to love, a couple of kids that are going to run into walls for a while, and a barbecue on Friday.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really what the average man the world over wants. You know, you'll never find a man whose son is going into the military voting for war. That's common the world over. You just don't find it.
Right. Right, absolutely. I totally agree with that. The experience of going and living abroad in any country other than your own, like even like you said, for a month, it's eye-opening, and that's key. You know, that's key to widening your own horizons.